Palmetto Police Department is a very patrol-driven organization, and by that I mean that we're really centered on being as proactive we can for public safety, answering calls for service, and most of our resources are centered in our patrol division. But we think that works for the city of Palmetto. We're about 7 square miles. We've got about 13,000, maybe 13,500 residents, and we have a very diverse community. Certainly we have some areas that are higher crime, but a lot of the city is kind of sleepy and residential. The citizens of Palmetto, and this is something I discovered when I started with the department about 22 years ago, is the citizens of Palmetto demand a relationship with their police officers. So, you know, community policing is a buzzword that a lot of agencies use, but Palmetto's police department has always been kind of community-based. When I started, I was told that if you didn't wave at people and you didn't stop into businesses, they're going to complain, and they really do. So one of the things that my predecessors and I try to impart upon our officers is a sense that we really come from the community. We're supported very much by the community, and we're a very service-driven department. For instance, when our officers handle a burglary call, it's not uncommon for our officers to once they're done getting the particulars and processing the scene, they'll actually go through the home or the business and give some crime prevention tips. And this is something that our citizens really expect out of the police department, a personal relationship. And most of the men and women that work here really like that. We're a smaller department. We have 34 sworn officers, and that includes the bureau commanders and myself. We divided up into basically 2 bureaus, the administrative and the enforcement bureau. The enforcement bureau is really where the action is, where, you know, the divisions that people typically think about as a police department. We have 20 people in our patrol division. We have 5 detectives, including a detective sergeant. We have an SRO unit that covers 3 schools, Palmetto Elementary School, Lincoln Middle School, and Palmetto High School. And one of the things that our commission and our mayor were really serious about is we actually have a full-time resource officer in our elementary school because we thought that was important. And we also have a full-time crime prevention officer. She does community policing, crime prevention programs, and a lot of the citizens interaction programs. Many years ago, the school board and the different agencies worked hard at having an SRO in every school, but because of funding, and we all understand how that goes, we couldn't fund an SRO in every elementary school. And Chief Wells, when he was chief of police here and I was his deputy chief, we're talking about it one day, and it's something that we approached our mayor and our commission about. And we said, look, probably one of the most important times that we want to have children around police officers is when they're young, when they're elementary school age, so they can build that relationship, understand what police officers do, recognize police officers as, you know, possibly a helpful individual rather than somebody to avoid. And the other thing is, you know, probably one of our most precious assets or precious commodities that we have are our kids. And we felt it was important to have a fully trained, uniformed police officer in every one of our schools. So we brought this to the mayor, we brought this to our commission, and they agreed to fund the position. And we're very fortunate the school board has seen to where they fund half the position. But we just felt it was so important to have that police officer in our elementary school. Since we are a smaller department and we don't have many of the specialty units that other larger agencies do have, our officers are expected to do more. They're kind of, you know, they need to have a lot of tasks on their tool belt when they go out to calls and do what they need to do. And second of all, I see training as a benefit. And although, you know, we're competitively paid, we're not paid like some of the larger top agencies. We don't have as many promotional opportunities or as many specialty units that officers can go to. So, you know, one of the ways that we try to retain our officers is to give them a lot of training, and it seems to work. The other thing is, you know, the citizens of Palmetto deserve the best trained police officers they can get, and you know, that's something that's loud and clear with me. Probably our officers receive on the average of 30 or 40 hours of training every year, which is quite a bit. Palmetto is traditionally a very agricultural area, and we have a large population of migrant workers and Spanish-speaking residents here in the city. So it makes things easier and certainly facilitates a working relationship or a great relationship with our Hispanic residents to have Spanish-speaking officers. Many of them can't speak English, so we feel that's important. And we do seek applicants that are bilingual, that also speak Spanish. When we look at demographics and we look at the victimology of many of our Part 1 crime victims, we learn that many of them are migrants. For a lot of reasons, migrants make good crime victims. So, first of all, it is essential for us to have some sort of outreach. And over the years, we tried different things. Some of them have been more successful than others. Currently, we have created a new full-time crime prevention officer position. And the person that we chose to do that is one of our senior detectives who is bilingual. She's been a detective for a long time. A detective is a great person who can work crime prevention because she understands the different crimes, the different ways people are victimized, and the different scams and things that are out there. So we've sent her to Florida Attorney General's crime prevention practitioner course. She's completed that. She's also a crime prevention through environmental design, a CPTED practitioner. And one of her primary jobs right now is to reach out to our migrant community. Reach out to them with crime prevention information to try to keep them from being victimized as they traditionally are. I want the citizens to know that they have dedicated men and women that are second to none in law enforcement. Do we get complaints? Yes. Could we do a better job? Absolutely. But the other thing is we're always looking for ways to do a better job. Whether it's through crime prevention and community policing programs like our Citizens Police Academy. We just started a Youth Citizens Academy for young people to come and get together with officers and find out what they do. We have a host of crime prevention programs, Crime Watch, constantly looking for ways to reach out to the community and work with the community. So, I want our citizens to feel that certainly the police department belongs to them and that we're responsive to them and their needs.
I have been with Palmetto Police Department since 1999, so just past 18 years. During the 18 years, I've had a great number of opportunities to work in special units, which has been really a blessing for me. I had the chance to work K-9. I worked a dual narcotics patrol K-9 for 7 years, 4 months, and also was in charge of the unit. We had a two-dog unit at the time. I've also had the chance to ride a Harley Road King police motorcycle for a year. That's what I did before becoming a K-9 officer, and that's kind of a neat subspecialty. Our dogs are part of our families. They come home with us, and they wander around and live with us, and they have a very full life. When we've unfortunately recently disbanded our K-9 unit, but at the time they're part of the families. My dog Callan, which I had, was a German Shepherd. Every morning he'd help get the kids out of bed. He'd actually grab the covers and pull them off. And if they didn't get in, he'd jump in and he'd steamroll them, where he'd roll over them. And that didn't do it. He'd stand there and bark at them.
So one of those things had to get him up.
Oh yeah, eventually. It was just kind of a fun thing. It definitely added something. And when he came to work, he's a very dynamic dog, wonderful narcotics dog. We had a chance to do over 400 narcotics arrests. Wow. Just on that. That doesn't include the other things he'd do too. On top of fighting narcotics, people lost their keys in a big field. He'd find them in seconds. That's out of all the things that he could do, tracking and area searching for people and narcotic searches. My wife still thinks that's the most fascinating, is that he could find a pair of keys or even an earring that was lost in deep grass. Exactly. One wonderful thing about canines is with that dog barking, anytime you stop, because we deal with a lot of the same, what I like to refer to as high maintenance citizens for law enforcement. And you'll have ones that have a history or have a history of fighting when you go to try to arrest them. And just having a dog there barking, you don't chase them, so they don't get hurt. You don't get hurt chasing them, stepping in a hole and breaking your leg. They know they're not going to outrun a dog that goes 35 miles an hour. So basically they just turn around and give up. And so just the mere presence of the dog has a tremendous benefit that we don't always think of sometimes when we think about all the assets and attributes they have.
And under your guidance.
Exactly, that's one thing. It's ongoing training on top of the basic K-9 Academy you go through. You also have monthly maintenance training and narcotics training. So you have to hide narcotics and show the dog, basically it's proofing, showing that the dog is doing what they're supposed to be doing and they're accurate. So it's a great time commitment, but it's probably one of the most rewarding, as well as time-consuming jobs in law enforcement. Essentially, I will actually show up on scene too, but I will monitor the radio for calls that are given out, and make sure we have adequate people going to it. There's backup officers, because what we do is inherently have some danger to it. One officer shows up, someone will be a lot less likely maybe to assault the officer if there's two of us, and also make sure people approach to the right side, the right sides of things, and they don't walk into something, approach from a bad angle. It's basically kind of just an operational issue, but mostly it's make sure they have what they need, whether it's a camera to take pictures of evidence, help in processing. I've been around for a number of years, so I have some expertise, which helps teach them, because there's a constant learning curve. And that's one thing. I was also one of the field training officers. Sometimes people just don't want to teach. Luckily, most of our training staff and the officers and sergeants see the benefit of it, and they voluntarily teach and pass things on. It's a learning experience. Sometimes the only way you can really learn is by actually having something that sticks out in your memory, or something, something that is not like a parable. Teaching us stories, teach better, it reaches all sorts of people. Hey, this is what happened to me. This is why it's a good idea to maybe double check someone, double search them, what have you, and also check your back seat, make sure they didn't leave some contraband back there, and just developing good habits, making sure they do that. That people that go into this profession aren't doing it to get wealthy. They'll make a decent living, and they'll be able to raise a family on it. But what we're doing this is out of a strong sense of service. Some people are more prone to, kind of sit back in trouble. The people that go into public safety in general, that's the law enforcement and EMS, are people that run in towards gunfire, run towards things that most people would run away from. And just that we have the cadre of people we've hired, recruited, very high caliber. They're devoted, they're dedicated, and they're here basically dedicated enough to make sure that our citizens and people visiting the city, even if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, we have you covered. We're going to be here for you. We're going to come. We're going to come quickly if you need us. And if you don't need us, we're going to be around anyways. In case there's some people that have some bad intentions, loitering and prowling around too.
I wanted a job where I could actually understand people, communicate with them, especially the Spanish community around here. Sometimes they're a little reluctant to speak to law enforcement. Right. I want to be the one to tell them it's okay, we're here for that. We want to help you guys out. It's a 12-hour shift. This week, it's our long week, so Monday, Tuesday, we work 6 p.m. 6 a.m. Then we work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then next week, it's our short shift. It's Wednesday and Thursday only, and then we have the weekend off. Sometimes, it seems like it's quiet, some nights, but you still have to be, like you mentioned, you still have to be proactive. Mm-hmm. You still got these burglars who are really sneaky and want to go behind the business, burglarize these businesses, residents, and you have to be looking around, making sure you don't see any suspicious vehicles, persons in the area, or anything that doesn't belong there, Mm-hmm. So with us out here, we try to deter the crime. As an officer, I work on patrol, so I'm always on the road. If I'm driving behind an individual who is, driving erratically, some might think, oh, he's just texting, or, he's tired. But for drunk drivers, there's certain patterns that, there's certain criteria we have to meet. They have to meet in order for us to stop them and conduct a welfare check. And from there, we could determine if they're drunk or if they're just tired, Basically, we patrol the whole city of Palmetto. We down to US 301, it's a 1600 block, and then we go towards Sneed Island. Then we go north of Palmetto and south of Palmetto, halfway on the Green Bridge. We're free to roam anywhere we want to. Some officers in different departments are actually assigned to different areas.
I see.
In a little confined area, but not us. We could go anywhere we want to. We have a zone called Zone 2. It's a northeast Palmetto. Mm-hmm. The little area, it's a little problem area. Sometimes robberies occur, batteries, Best part about being a police officer, every day is different. Unlike all of the jobs, you sit in a cubicle 8 to 5, Monday to Friday, and deal with paperwork and stuff like that. Over here, we get our share of paperwork. However, we meet different people, we go different places, businesses. It's different, and that's what I like about the job. and you get to communicate with people who actually need your help. And they're, like I mentioned, sometimes they don't want to approach you because you're the police, and they're just scared of you, and you're there to make sure, hey, we're here to help. I'm the only Spanish speaking officer on the squad, and when my squad mates need my help or me to translate for them, I'm there. So, and we get the job done. You get to find out things they don't want to share to other officers. They relate to you just because you're Hispanic, and they share you some information that's pertinent, that's really important, that we want to know as well, that we want to look out for. Grew up in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big change from.
Big
Brooklyn.
change. Yes. Loud, and a lot of things happening in Brooklyn over here. When I moved to Florida, it was so quiet. I kind of got a little bit depressed, but you get used to it. After high school, I went to college. That's where I got my associate's degree. And after that, I went to the police academy in St. Petersburg College. What you're learning is basically a job of a police officer. What to expect when you're out in the field. How to communicate with people, how to deal with people. What to look out for, and how to interview people. You have to be able to relate to them. You don't want to talk down to individuals. You want to basically be at their level. You don't want to look like you don't want to intimidate them. Period. You just want to act, be their friend. And then they open up a little more and let you know what's going on. Florida 28, David Boy Adam, Ida 18, David Boy Adam, Ida 18, black Nissan. Hey, you guys need help? Let me help you. I can help him. I'll help him. Maneja.
Okay. Gracias.
Yep. Good.
Oh. We're good.
10-4. No, it's 54. All right. You good? All right, not a problem, guys. You're welcome. Have a good night. 312. Vehicle. Yeah, we do. Another reason why I did it was because I don't want to put them in risk by them being in the middle of the roadway. I don't want the traffic just go up behind them and hit them and injure them while they're in the middle of the traffic. So with my emergency lights on, they'll people will know.
Palmetto 317 PR.
Most of my calls, everything varies. We have traffic accidents, drunk drivers, burglaries, past burglaries, gang activity. No, you rarely see them unless they tell you, hey, unless they tell you they're in a gang or they're documented per the system. Other than that, you really don't see any gang activity. When I'm on patrol, what I look for, it's bicycle violations, someone without the lights on the bicycles, driving down the roadway. It's basically for their own good. You don't want to you don't want to get hit by a car just because you don't have a simple tools like lights, And we actually have some lights in our trunks that we give out, per the city of Palmetto,
That's handy.
Yeah. So we install it for them if they let us. We install it for them and everything, and they're on their way. You get a written warning. Sometimes people can't afford lights.
There we go. The ding's come. So we're in your the Charger now, which is the new patrol car. Tell us a little bit about and all the features that you have available to you.
Basically it's a car. It's the features we have is the same thing as I guess it's a little faster.
A little more powerful.
Yeah, a little more powerful. But the Crown Vic, they definitely have more room for the passenger. Yeah. As soon as I initiate my lights, my emergency lights, my red and blues, that's when the dash cam comes on. I have a microphone attached to my body. The microphone also activates when the dash cam comes on.
Oh.
My laptop basically tells me where to go, sometimes how to get there. I have a GPS, tells me how to get there as well.
Great.
These are really important tools. Somebody wants to make a false complaint, you have the dash cam to back you up if it captures an incident. Or you want to get to a scene fast, you use GPS instead of getting lost.
But you're pretty familiar with the city, is that correct?
Yeah, it is a small city, and it's all numbers. Definitely, yes. You run the driver's license, it comes back if the vehicle is stolen or abandoned, or if, we should be concerned about the vehicle in general. We run the person's information, such as the driver's license or the ID card that comes back if they have a warrant, or if they're missing, or if they're elderly, silver alerts. Yeah, I mean, we run weapons if it's stolen. We run bicycles if it's stolen. We can run a lot of things in this computer. We communicate with other officers via the computer, with our dispatcher. And this is where we get our notes. If we're going to a call, the dispatcher will let us know on the radio, but it'll tell us on here too that the suspect is armed and dangerous. I have a sergeant, I have a corporal, and we have 3 other officers who are part of the squad. So we see each other throughout the night. So, like I said, it's a small city, so if we have an officer doing a traffic stop, we go and back him up, vice versa. I mean, not only that, but we drive by, we see if we don't see any suspicious activities going inside of businesses, such as, robberies or, we try to be sneaky about it. So we park somewhere, and then we walk up on foot, and we already have our backup units on scene.
Oh,
So
that's good.
Yeah, we'll walk up to the scene together. Just individuals who come.
And
I
work
guess they
on that.
travel state to state to
I see.
go work, and when they reach Florida or Palmetto, they come to this section of Palmetto.
I see.
Unfortunately, when they get paid Fridays and Saturdays, they spend the money on alcohol and they get drunk over here,
And that's a shame.
and they become a victim. The thieves, the robbers, they know who to look out for. Someone who's really drunk, they can't defend themselves. They don't know where they're standing at sometimes.
Right.
We dealt with those types of people too. They didn't even know their name. They didn't even know where they live. So we take them to the hospital and get them evaluated.
It's going to be estimated at 3rd Street Drive West and 7th Avenue West, 3rd Street Drive West, 7th Avenue West.
Spanish speaking now and
I believe it's a laundromat on the...
Saca tu mano por bolsillo, por favor. Ok, no, está bien. Pero, ¿qué querías robar tú? Espérate. Espera. Quédate ahí.
De vista, anda siempre caminando. Ya.
Pero no es tu amigo, nada así.
No, nada.
¿Qué pasó? ¿Él quería robar tu bicicleta o qué?
Sí, dice, ¿de qué es la bicicleta? Yo soy el dueño de aquí. ¿De qué es la bicicleta? Dice. Yo no dije nada, nomás para probarlo, porque ya me robaron una. Una me robaron ahí. No le dije nada, no sé. Y salí, no sé de quién es.
Pero, ¿él te trató?
No, miré que se quería llevarla.
¿Él te ponía sus manos en la bicicleta?
No, nada más, pero sí.
Señor, espera un segundo. Él nomás te dijo a ti. Deja la bicicleta aquí, ¿verdad?
¿Quién es? Dice, ¿de quién es? Dice que él es el dueño ahí.
Ok. Pero él nunca no trató de robarte la bicicleta. Él nunca no trató de coger la bicicleta y ir a alguna parte.
Sí tenía la intención, porque
Pero lo que estoy preguntando, señor, es
yo lo probé. Dije, no es mía, nada más no es mía. No sé de quién es, pero sí.
Señor, ¿me puede escuchar mi pregunta, por favor? Ok, saca tu mano al bolsillo, cálmate, por favor.
Tengo arriba.
Estás bien. Mira, escúchame. Mírame, ¿él de alguna vez trató de robar la bicicleta, cogiendo la bicicleta y llevándolo? ¿No? Él solamente te dijo que era el dueño, que deje la bicicleta aquí. Man, you're rude tonight, what's going on?
The owner said, if they ain't doing laundry, tell them to get the hell out.
Who's they?
This guy,
¿Tú querías descansar aquí, pero no estabas lavando la ropa?
Estaba comiendo, comí.
Ok.
Prendí la tele.
Okay. Basically what we have the complainant stating that we have another subject inside, asking him to leave his bicycle here because the owner doesn't want people to be loitering around the property. We're gonna find out right now, and we believe he's actually trespassed from here, but we're gonna find out right now. You know what? You are now on the arrest, buddy. Put your hand behind your back. Obstruction, all right?
sir, I didn't do that.
No, that's too late. I told you multiple times to stay on scene. We're trying to do an investigation, and you're walking around like nothing.
Sir, I'm trying to get away
Okay.
from you guys.
You were told to sit down.
You told to sit down and stay on
Okay,
scene.
well, I'll go sit down.
No, too late. We're not going to give you the option anymore. When a police officer gives you a lawful command,
Sir,
that's what you do,
sir,
okay?
I just don't like nobody standing in front of me.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you about
guys
that.
were doing.
Can you face that way, please?
Can
Say
you tell
that,
me
please.
what I'm charged with?
Obstruction. Wait right there. Do not move. You hear?
What?
Right there. Stay right there. I already explained to you. I gave a lawful order to stay on scene. You want to take off from scene?
You're standing in front of me. I ain't doing nothing.
This is the second time.
I'm watching TV.
All right.
I didn't do nothing.
Too late. You can. Okay. Scoot out, please. Scoot to your right,
God,
please.
I did not do
Scoot to your right, please. Scoot to your right, please. Thank you.
What did I do?
Listen, we were investigating a possible crime.
Sir,
Okay. We told
there
you.
was no crime. I'm watching this place.
We don't know.
We don't
We're
know.
trying to investigate it.
And as you
I know, but you guys are standing right in front of me and bugging. I mean, God almighty.
and as you leave, you are impeding that investigation.
Was I under arrest?
Obstruction.
No, you were being detained.
Being detained for what? For what?
He told you for an investigation.
Hey, can you start at
Okay, that's
temp
my
detainer,
charge.
please?
Okay, I'll take that.
so we can do that?
Here's my phone, brother.
I know. I'm not done patting you down yet. I'm not done searching you.
Ain't nothing to search.
You don't have any needles on you or anything that we should be aware of? No?
Are you freaking kidding me?
No, dude. You're in handcuffs, aren't you? All right, cool. Let's put it in my car.
Yeah, boom! Nothing there, is there? I told you there's nothing there.
Well, Larry, we have some citizens who actually carry things everywhere, so. All right, Larry, have a seat, please. Thank you. Trató de salir a ese lado también y fue arrestado, pero él no te robó nada de ti, él solamente te dijo, hey, deja la bicicleta aquí, ¿verdad? ¿Ok? Vamos a llamar al dueño de esa lavandería para ver si gente pueden quedar aquí y ver televisor todos si no están lavando la ropa. ¿Ok? ¿Tiene preguntas?
Otras preguntas.
Sí.
Give me a rundown. What's happening?
Basically, we tried to investigate the gentleman called us saying that there was another subject inside a laundromat trying to tell him to leave his bike outside of the laundromat. We trying to talk to the subject, and first time he tried to walk away from us inside the laundromat. We told him to come back. He needs to sit down because we're investigating a possible crime. He's acting belligerent, and then he gets up again. I don't know if you probably caught it, but he gets out of the laundromat, darts out, and doesn't want to cooperate with us. At that time, we had to charge him with obstruction of justice since he is impeding. We gave him a lawful command to stay at the scene because we're trying to investigate the scene, so he's being charged with obstruction of justice. Basically what we do, we fill out some paperwork, we take him to the port, we drop him off, and he's charged with obstruction. Yes, it was actually a benefit for both of us. I mean, who knows how many times he's been telling other subjects who only speak Spanish to leave his stuff here, and the subjects are fearful of calling the police, and they don't let us know. With him calling us, we know what's going on here, so now we also get to contact the owner and ask him, hey, is this gentleman over here allowed to stay at your property and tell people what to do? You know, so we still have to follow up on that, and we got to go from there. But hopefully, the owner wants to trespass, and maybe when I'm trespassing, we'll let him know.
Nobody did no instructions. When 3 people stand in front of your face, man. When nobody did nothing. Hey, go film that.
Larry, I told you the first time inside not to go anywhere, right? I told you have a seat.
Hey, brother.
Then now
What
you want to walk out.
Tell me not to go nowhere.
Larry,
I didn't do nothing.
All right, well,
You tell me to go nowhere.
I told you that multiple times, Larry. Okay.
But you're going to stick with the Mexican people because you are Mexican. You are, brother.
And sometimes
That owner
subjects
will
are
tell
more
you
cooperative than
one
others,
thing.
and this guy's not. So.
Yeah, look. Oh, big man, big man. Hispanic man. Stick with the Mets.
10-4, can you call him and leave him a voicemail so we could get this strained out? If he'd rather have him trespass or leave him on scene
Yeah, okay.
in the future events. Larry, I don't know what's wrong with Mexico. I don't know what's wrong with Mexico.
What's wrong with Mexico?
I'm not Mexican, Larry, so I can't answer that question for you.
Why don't you like Mexico? Huh? Why is everybody going to
No matter how many times we try to speak with them, they don't
Well, you
get
wait
it.
till Donald Trump gets in there. I guarantee.
You have to have thick skin to work here. No matter what they say, stay professional.
Everybody help. You have to have somebody.
Yes. You have to be professional at all times. You know, I mean, you're not gonna come.
America's going to get great like it was.
Oh yeah. I mean, you have to arguing with them doesn't really accomplish anything.
Can you just answer that question for me?
And he keeps asking the same question, even though I try to straighten it out with him. But hey.
Are all the Mexican people?
Oh, 43.
Didn't you have a similar situation with the same gentleman? And did we ever contact the owner of Buttock?
What am I
I
charged?
think we did, but I think it's been a good 6 or 8 months ago.
10-4. Thank you. Basically, what we do, we drive to the port, drop them off with some paperwork, and we work on the booking paperwork to get the prints, to get the photos at the port. Yeah, we do that. Sometimes we give them on a little sheet of paper called temp detainer. We drop them off there, or sometimes we stay there and complete the whole paperwork. But in this instance, we're just gonna drop them off at the temp detainer, and we're gonna come back and work on our paperwork while we're in the city. Larry, step up, please. The arrest report would detail the actions of the defendant and what caused him to go to jail. And once we type it up, we print it out, take it to the jail, and he will be booked under that charge.
We're going to do night eyes. Night eyes is where us officers go out to businesses and residentials, and like this block, this 400 block of 10th Avenue. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to check the businesses, and I'm going to leave a card on their door and let them know that you know, we checked their business, that their door wasn't open. We're looking for open doors, you know, open windows, things like that. So we will stand by and call the owner or the key holder of that business and let them know that their business is unlocked, and we'll also go in to make sure that there is that the business is safe, that no one's inside, you know, burglarizing the business and things like that. Every officer does different zone and different areas. I usually do the 10th Avenue, and sometimes I do 10th Street East at Palmetto Village, and also Palmetto Mobile Home Park. We'll go through there and check the trailers because, you know, some of the snowbirds are gone. So we'll check and make sure that their homes are secure. Yeah, well, you know, the police department does this as a courtesy to our community. You know, that's what we're here to do, is to make sure they're safe, make sure their businesses stay safe, make sure their homes stay safe. It's a doggy business.
Right now we're going to the Hall nightclub. We already have off-duty officers working, you know, extra duty. Us as a road officer, what we do, we drive around the Hall, checking out the exterior of it, making sure, you know, the officers are okay. I mean, and making sure people aren't doing what they're not supposed to be doing in the parking lots. Behind all the officers' back, you know, they do a good job of actually patrolling the whole nightclub, the parking lot, and everything. But sometimes, you know, subjects know when, oh, the officer's not here anymore, so let's come back here, let's do something, you know? Yeah. Yes, yeah, we do have, you know, the majority of the people are actually appreciative of what we do. Then you have, you know, a few of the people who are actually, even when they're sober, they're real disrespectful, but, you know, we have to get the job done. I mean, to work here, you have to have thick skin to work here. Right. You know, you can't get things get to you easily. You know, at the end of the day, I mean, like I said, they're the ones going to jail, and you're the one enforcing the law. You know, fortunately, it is what it is. No matter if they disagree with it, they broke the law, they have to suffer the consequences.
Exactly.
Yeah. Every Friday and Saturdays, we have events going on out here. We have 4 officers working off duty. And basically the reason why we're here, road officers, just to provide extra security, making sure everything's okay over here. If something happens, you know, sometimes we get people thrown out of the club, they want to go back in, then they start fighting with the security guards, and that's what we're here for. What I have right here, it's an ASP. It's a baton we use, an expandable baton. In order to open it, you open it down to the ground or up to the sky. Yeah, sure. It's a really useful tool to push people back, especially in rowdy, crowded areas. What we have next is my magazines for my pistol. I got 2 magazines. I have my taser, I have my flashlight, my radio, my handcuffs, my glove pouch, another set of handcuffs, and my service weapon, my pepper spray. This is my carrier for, this is my case for my microphone for my dash cam that's attached to my vehicle. And my key, obviously. And then we got my vest, which has my, it's an outer carrier, so it can be a little more comfortable. It has my badge, my pens, my name tag, and my lapel mic. Every couple of months, we are allowed to go to the shooting range and practice shooting. But every year it's qualifications, so you have to be ready for that. And every year we have refreshers for that expendable baton. We have refreshers for the taser, and basically our use of force matrix that tells us when to apply force, how to apply force, or how to de-escalate the force. All right. Yes. Right now, where we're going to, we are going to a Sneed Island. There's a place called Crab and Fish House. Usually, now that school is out, we have a lot of juveniles out there partying, and they're causing a disturbance, basically, and noise complaints. So they call us, and we gotta handle the problem. School is really important, so you need a high school diploma anywhere to get a job nowadays, and an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree is even better. But most of all, stay out of trouble. Don't have an arrest record, because if you have an arrest record, most employers look at your arrest history. They see you have a long rap sheet, they're not going to want to hire you because they think negatively of you.
Exactly.
So, I mean, even though sometimes people change, the record's still with you. Myself, when I grew up in New York, so it's really easy to be influenced by your peers. They want to invite you to parties, they want you to experiment with different types of drugs, alcohol and stuff like that, and it's really easy. I mean, you have a lot of people around you saying, yeah, try it, but thankfully, like, I haven't been involved in any of that. And it's hard to say no, but I mean, you have to say no. You can't live, you have to plan ahead. Don't live for that moment. The area, the roadway, it's public. You could travel through here, but if we have a noise complaint, let's say people are here disturbing the peace, and you have the residents out here calling us, we have to take some form of action.
I understand.
Yeah, some people actually end up partying inside these businesses when they're not even allowed to be in there in the first place.
Is that right?
The owners don't even know them, so.
Is that kids?
Yeah, kids drinking underage and stuff like that. They don't have any homework to do, anything to keep them occupied, and so, yeah, some of them have programs during the summer, but some of the other juveniles, they don't, and they find ways to have fun. Sometimes it's not legal. You always have to be alert. When you're on duty, you always have to be alert. You have to, work in the night shift. This is like a little over 3 years working night shift already. You know what belongs and what doesn't belong. You know what's out of place. You know the people who don't belong in certain areas. That's what you learn to look out for. However, you have some citizens who live in the city who are really scared of others finding out that you called on them. Really? So they're scared that they might get retaliated against, and it's kind of hard to enforce it because some people, I don't know how, but some people, they think the neighbors are listening to them, so they don't want to call us when they see something suspicious. It's unfortunate that sometimes when we go to a scene of a crime, we find out by the neighbor, oh, that's been happening like weeks ago, months ago. How are we gonna say something? Well, I didn't know, we could, I don't want to be involved, why not? Well, because I don't want people to find out, I don't want people to know my name and stuff like that,
Right.
So that's why it's sometimes hard, but then you have those other citizens who are, if they see something, they do say something. I remember when I was in training still, we went to a call of a shooting with a person down, and everyone was standing outside, so someone had to see something. So I'm walking around and asking them, hey, did you see something? No. They closed the door in my face. Did you see something? No. Closed the door in my face. They know what's going on. They don't want to say something because, they have other people standing outside who will actually inform other individuals, hey, this guy said something, And, sometimes, like I said, sometimes it's hard, so you have to try. You still have to try. The computer is really important. Let's say you get a call to go somewhere. The address will be displayed here. This was where I was already at, this address. But anyway, let's say you have the call. The address comes up here. You know, in case you forget, you look back and your notes are under here, where it says remarks. It tells you how many subjects are involved, is there any weapons involved, or if anything, we should be on the lookout for, any vehicles in the area, leaving the area, anything like that. Once you get to know the community, you get to know the people inside of the community. You get to know what's supposed to be there, what's not supposed to be there. You know, you see people, a bunch of people out there, you know, inside a house that no, the house is abandoned. You know, want to investigate it. You know, God forbid you go inside and find out that they were doing drugs or they were doing other sorts of crimes in there. So it's really important to get to know the people in the community, especially the community itself. Interact with them and also get to know them a little better. We want to let them know that we're here. You know, that's why we show our presence out here. We let them know, hey, this is a safe park to come to. We have surveillance cameras, you know, that our dispatchers monitor. That's what. Yeah, we also walk around through here. You know, meet people. You know, talk to them. You know, sometimes just walk around here just to show our presence. We are at the Tercia Bay. This is a fishing pier right here. It's used for residents and the visitors. We have to be here. I mean, if we're not here, you know, there could be subjects out here loitering. If they didn't even live here, they could. We had an incident where I guess someone set a bench on fire, and you know, the process we go through. When we get that call, first off, we park a couple of houses away from the residence where the incident occurred. We walk up on foot and we try to separate the complainant with the suspect. We try to get two sides of the story. If we see any injuries on the complainant, or you know, if we see any injuries or any independent witnesses who saw the incident take place, you know, we get the statements down and we place them under arrest for domestic violence. And unfortunately, sometimes victims they fail to cooperate, and you know, they call us out multiple times, and multiple times, you know, they don't want to press charges, they don't want to go forward with the charges, and it's an ongoing cycle, and they don't realize that, you know, someday it could actually turn deadly, you know. Yes, it's unfortunate. It's actually traumatizing to the children. They see mommy and daddy fighting. They see the cops arriving on scene, taking mommy or daddy away. Then they think the cops are the bad guys, or the kids are traumatized by the police officers. They don't want to approach the police officers anymore. Or sometimes the kids, you know, the children, they grow up thinking it's okay to be on their spouses, you know, and they don't know right from wrong at that point. So we try to talk to the children as best as we can, and you know, we try to help them out too. Right now we are at 3rd Avenue and 14th Street. This is our CRA area. It's an area we want to pay attention to most. Late nights we have some suspicious activities, burglaries. We also have people who don't want to call us, you know, and we just want to show up here because, hey, we're here. We want to show our presence. Hey, how you doing? What you guys up to? Playing circle. All right, guys. I'll see you guys in a bit, okay? Well, I just wanted to know that, you know, we're here to help. You know, whatever the problem is, whenever the needs arises, you know, feel free to contact us, you know. And please don't hesitate in case, if there is a suspicious circumstance going on, please don't hesitate to contact us. You know, we always want to investigate suspicious circumstances, even if it turns out to be nothing. You know, at least we gave it an effort.
Right.
You know.
There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, listen, I saw something, or, you know.
There's definitely nothing wrong.
Something's happening, and I don't know.
Yeah, I speak with several citizens, and like I mentioned before, they see something the week before, and it turns out it was a crime, and they're like, oh, we seen it a week ago, but we don't want to call you guys because we don't want to bother you. You guys are not bothering us. We're here for you guys, you know.
Right.
We provide services to you guys. No matter how small the problem you think it might be, it's not. You know, we're here to investigate it. In this area, it's really important being a safe driver, given that the speed limits are like 35. They go down to 30 miles an hour. You we sometimes stop drivers who are driving above that, such as like 50 miles an hour, above 50 miles an hour.
Wow.
And they don't realize how important it is to maintain the speed limit. The speed limit is there for a reason. Research has been done in that particular area, and that's why the speed limit is there. There's a difference between an accident that could be fatal or an accident that could just cause minor injuries. And especially with seatbelts, people don't realize how important seatbelts are until they get involved in an accident, and they could have flew through the windshield, but the seatbelt's holding them back. This is a stalker laser. It's used to determine how fast a driver is going. It gives you the range. It gives you the speed. What we do with this, we look through here. We point at, there's a red dot. You point at the vehicle, there's a little trigger, you point at the vehicle, you hit it, and it will tell you how fast the vehicle's traveling and what the range is the vehicle at from the laser. Oh, it's really accurate. It's really accurate. We actually come back here to calibrate it to make sure it's accurate. Yeah, we have a target down there. We have two targets. The first one should be 100 feet. The second one should be 200 feet. We'll hit the laser to the 100 feet, then the second one to the 200 feet. 45 right here.
The reason I stopped you is you were doing 45 in a 30-mile-an-hour zone. Okay, just give me a second. I'll be right back with you.
Sure.
With this new computer system, when I give them the tag off of the vehicle, they can attach the information of the tag for the vehicle and the driver's or the registered owner's information to that screen. So this gentleman is the registered owner, so I automatically, without having to run him, it's already on my screen to be able to look that up, which speeds the process up. Alright, here's your driver's license back, and here is the rest of your information. I'm going to cut your brake today with a warning, okay?
Alright.
15 over, $256, okay?
Alright.
So just make sure that you slow down for me coming over the bridge, okay? So
sometimes people don't want to stop for us and they take off, and our pursuit policy is if it's a felony we could chase, or if it's a DUI driver we could chase. The reward has to outweigh the risks. So yeah, it's a rewarding career. It's definitely a rewarding career. You get to do things you get to do different things. You get to be in different positions. You get to be a teacher. You get, like teach people right from wrong. You get to be a mentor. You get to be a counselor, for husband and wife. You get to be, some scenes we go up, we treat the wounded a little bit. You get to do first aid. You do a lot of things. We wear a lot of hats in this job.
for the most part, this job is a rewarding job, and we enjoy talking and interacting with people.
The department as a whole, I feel like I'm part of a family. They're very supportive of you, especially my squad. Corporal Matthews, he's my supervisor. He's always there if I ever have any questions or anything like that. Sergeant Smith as well. Other members of my squad, same thing. They're always there to back you up no matter what. And like I said, they're part of a family. You spend time with them a little more than you spend time with your family.
Our responsibility is our community. That's who we're here to serve. That's who we're here to protect, and that's what we want to do. Is to make sure that they have a safe place to raise a family, to go to the grocery store, to do your normal daily activities. We just want to make sure that it's safe and we're doing our job, and they understand that they can come to us for any concerns or any matters that they may have, and that we can help them with.
The responsibilities, we want to make sure the community knows we're out here for them. We don't want them to be hesitant to contact us. We want to be their friends. We want to, come to us if you have any questions. Come to us with any problems you may have. We're here to serve and protect. Please don't hesitate to call us, no matter how big or small your problem is. We're here to help business owners alike.
Just service. That's what we want to do. We want to provide whatever services we can to help them accomplish either their goals or solve their problems or help them with their issues. but our job is to serve the community, and that's what we want to do.